And we are live, man. We are live, and we'll be back after these messages. Yes, we saying everyone back on the buck stops here. Bit of a different one today. We ain't talking football, man. Surprise, surprise. Although we will talk football for a minute because there's a crazy game on at the moment, El Clasico, out in Jeddah being played. And last I saw it was 2-2. Vinicius has gone close just then as well, and it's just been a crazy game. So if you haven't seen that, you can watch it after you've watched this, of course. Yeah. Don't forget, like, subscribe, share, comment, please. And we will reply to all comments while we're on here and also afterwards as well. And I've got Stitches with me today. What are you saying, brother?
I'm good, bro. How are you?
Yeah, man. Always good, man. Always good. So, yeah, it's a bit of a strange one because we don't normally put on a Sunday, but I thought we'd do one today because we've got stuff to talk about, man. So I'm going to lead in and then I'm going to hand over to you because I've got some questions for you. So we were going to talk Donald Trump and what's been going on recently. And we're going to start in Nigeria because this is kind of where the talking points came up and started from with us. So from what I know, and I'm hoping you fill me in because obviously you being Nigerian, you're probably more in the know on this subject than me. But from what I've seen, Trump has been using the excuse that Christians are being killed in Nigeria. Yeah. He actually initially said that. Then actually, I think it was a couple of days ago, he admitted that actually Muslims are also being killed, but it's still mostly Christians. Yeah. His advisor, his African advisor, says more Muslims are being killed than Christians. This is what he's been saying. So now this is all mixed messages that everyone's hearing. Yeah. But is it just an excuse? Because Nigeria does have the biggest oil reserve in Africa. And we all know that America are running low. Is this just an excuse? What's your take on things?
Well, you're right. There's many different opinions about, why this is happening. The reality is, if you think about it, the situation with Boko Haram, which is the terrorist organization that's operating in the region over there, it's been going on for a while. So I guess the question you have to ask yourself is, why now? Why all these years when supposedly Christians have been getting killed, right? Why have you done nothing? Yeah? Why have you done nothing? And then all of a sudden, now it's an issue. Now you care. Remember, Nigeria was one of them dirtbag nations when Trump first came into power that he didn't want coming to America. So why do you care all of a sudden? That's what I urge people to ask themselves, right? Because yes, many things can be true at the same time. Yeah, there could be, not that there could be, there is an issue with terrorism in that region, and the Nigerian government has been less than, let's say, effective, to be kind, in terms of dealing with it, right? But these people aren't just killing, it's not just Christians getting killed over there, Muslims are getting killed too. Do you understand? Muslims are getting killed too. So I think it's less about that, in my opinion. If you ask my opinion why I think they're doing it, as you've already mentioned, black gold, in it, oil. There's oil involved. And what you got to realize about Nigeria is that until recently, Nigeria didn't refine its own oil. So the oil would get extracted from Nigeria, be given to these European companies or US companies to refine, and then they'd sell it back to us.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it is an absolute madness, right? And then you've got a situation now where Dangote, the richest man, Nigerian out there, he's created one of the biggest oil refineries in the world, right? So he's able to refine oil at a rate that's been unseen. And then there's talk of Nigeria perhaps looking to come off the dollar. And you know that when that happens, you know what follows.
Problems follow. Problems follow. Always,
man. That's one aspect. The other aspect that many people aren't understanding is that the northwest or the west of Nigeria is very close to the Sahel region. So that's the region where, you know, the 3 presidents have come in. They've started kicking out all the Europeans, and they're creating a very sort of African or their nationalistic approach to how they're dealing with things in their country, right? And they're building a power base. They've got 3 now. They're inviting other countries. They're cooperating with China. They're cooperating with Russia. So again, Nigeria is in a very tactical position, right? Where the US can't allow Nigeria to become part of that movement, because it means that their tactical position in terms of having bases, in terms of having reach in that region, goes out of the window, right? So that's additional context that I'm giving people that people don't even necessarily consider. Then we take a step back and we say, well, look at the man and what he's doing right now. Man's just gone into Venezuela and just decided, yeah, I don't like your president and I like your oil, so I'm going to remove him and take him. He's a criminal. Of course, that's always the first thing. The man's a criminal, and I'm not saying he's not, but he's a criminal. So are you saying that someone should decide to go to the US and extract Trump and his wife because of these activities that he's done? Should they come and liberate the Americans? Like, is that what it is? Why are you the one that has to go and liberate the world? So you're not doing it out of any altruism or any goodwill to Venezuela. You're doing it because tactically Venezuela has a lot of oil and they are moving closer to the Russians and the Chinese. So from a tactical perspective, you can't let that happen.
Well, Russian and Chinese ships have been coming and going.
Well, they're starting
from Venezuela from the coastline. So yeah,
boarding them now and taking the ships back in it. So
you know
what I'm saying. And there's talk of, would he sacrifice Ukraine to keep hold of Venezuela and Greenland? So there's chess pieces being moved around right now. Do you know what I mean? But what people need to bear in mind is that it's not Team America save the world. It's team. I mean, he's put out his manifesto in terms of how his government is going to run, and he openly said, "We are going to go and exploit other countries and take their resources." He says it all the time. And the thing with Trump, which baffles me, is that people will always play down the things he says. They'll be like, "Oh, the media's making it worse than it is." Like what he's really doing, it isn't as bad as what they're saying. It's somewhere in the middle. But the reality is, he tells you what he's going to do, and it sounds so ridiculous that people like they play it down. Like Project 2025. Yeah. When he talked about Project 2025, and people were saying, "Oh, you can't vote for this guy. Project 2025 is going to come into play," right? And for those who don't know, Project 2025 was basically a process to undermine the Constitution of, eradicating them teaching certain things in school that show about civil rights and stuff like that. Positive, discrimination, where they give jobs to people, getting rid of all of that. Controlling the media. They basically laid the template out and they showed people what they were going to do. And everyone denied it. I was like, oh, it's so out there. They're never going to do that. They're never going to. And look at what we're seeing now, right? They're shooting people in the face in America because what does that cause? It causes people to riot and kick back against the power. And then what happens, and it's in Democrat states, so what happens is then he has the right to send the military in to say, I need to pacify what's going on here. There's a national threat, so I can go and control these Democrat states. And guess what's coming up? Election, midterms. So now they can't vote because they're going to lose. So what does he do? He makes it so that election can't take place. And then when people say, well, we don't have an emperor, we don't have a president in America, this is how you do it. You get rid of the election. Yeah. You don't have to vote because the military is controlling certain things. So
I was going to say that it's like that close to being a military state, America.
It is.
Like, as in the whole country, because you got technically it isn't because it's not the military.
Officially it isn't.
You got ICE that are going out there doing militant things all over the place.
Ask me what qualification these ICE agents have. Right?
I know.
Some of them haven't even gone through their background checks yet. Right, so you don't know who ISIS. They don't identify themselves. They put masks on. They're instigators. They're instigators. You could get anybody who's some.
I have a suspicion who I think a lot of these are. Not all of them, because you are going to have some who are kind of naturalized Americans or whatever. But I have a feeling that the you know who's might be heavily
Oh,
involved because
heavily. Yeah,
I heard, and I can't remember the dude's name. I was looking for it today, I'll send you the interview later.
yeah,
And a former high-ranking Israeli official was saying that basically Trump and other government officials in American government are being blackmailed.
yeah.
That's what he outright. Now, this is obviously one person's opinion, but my question is, why would he lie? And if he held a certain position, why would he lie about that? And one of
Yeah.
the things that was meant to be used for this blackmail is the Epstein files. They don't want that coming out. Do you get me?
They
There's
really
rumors
don't.
that this guy's still alive, man. He's still
Listen,
alive and living life. Like that
they
there's rumors. I don't know if that's
things,
true, but
we don't know, but
we
things
don't know.
never ever they don't get held to account for the things that they say. So when he was going to drain the swamp, when he was doing his campaign, he was like, as soon as I get in power, the Epstein file is gonna get released. Like I swear you've been in power for over a year now. Like where's the files?
They've
Yeah.
been
And then
drip
when they
feeding
did
little
release
bits and
it,
pieces of information. That's it.
yeah, when they did release it and it got leaked, so heavily redacted. Like, you know what I mean? First they were like, President Trump's name doesn't appear in the files. Then it became it doesn't appear in the files in relation to any of the ongoing investigations. Do you know what I mean? So the story
Okay.
keeps
Yeah.
changing. Your goalposts keep getting moved. But this is a
Because
man
when you
that's
think about it,
yeah,
when you think about it, because you were talking about strategically what they need, because I
yeah,
mean, you've only got to look at what's going on. Where is it in oh my gosh, it's left me now in Somalia. You only got
yeah,
to look in Somalia what's happening there right now.
yeah.
Again, strategic because it's a good place to have military bases for a lot of
Exactly.
reasons. For the canal to
Exactly.
stop certain ships getting, well, in fact, their ships weren't getting through. They
Yeah,
weren't getting through. The Yemeni guys were stopping that from happening. So that
yeah,
by them being there, that gives them a presence there. And I just feel that those two states are going around and just strategically placing their chess pieces right now. I don't
yeah,
know what for. I don't know what the end goal is. I got an idea. I don't know. But it's all because you look at Greenland again. Greenland's not just about strategic placement. It's also to do with them having one of them. It produces one of the largest natural mineral resources in the world, Greenland.
outside of
And
Africa.
again, outside of Africa, yeah.
Yeah,
And again, that's something that interests Trump. I don't want to say interests America because if you ask the average American person, they may be completely against what he's doing. But
yeah,
him himself, he definitely is thinking about that. He's thinking about being close to because he'll be near the Canadian border then, and it's easy access then into Russia on the other side. I don't know. It's just
there's pieces being moved in it. Pieces
there
being
is
moved. But also
definitely.
the counter argument to what you're saying, and we're going down a bit of a rabbit hole now, is that actually all that Trump's doing frees Putin up to do things that he wants to do. Because if
Yeah,
America's able to do so, they're actually two sides of the same coin, right? There's been a bit of kind of stalemate where everyone's aligned against Russia and most people are aligned against Russia, but now Trump's doing it. Team America's doing it. So if America's doing it, what restraints are there for Putin to go over the border and say, "Yo, I'm taking over Latvia. I'm taking over this. You've done it at Greenland and you've done it in Venezuela. So why can't I?"
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
If you go back to the end of the Second World War, these people met and basically carved up the world,
Mm,
right? And it's like they're doing it again tactically. They're doing it
yeah.
again. Yeah, they're like, who's gonna have access to African resources? Who's gonna have access to South American resources? Who's gonna have access to get at each other? Who's gonna put what I mean?
That's why all the
It's
borders in North Africa are straight lines. It's just
yeah.
like someone took a ruler and
They
drew a
basically
border.
decided. Yeah, they sat
Yeah,
down and decided, we'll take this piece, you take that piece, and that's what it is. Do you know what I mean? That's why
yeah,
these
pretty
guys in the
much.
Sahel region that are kicking back against that, saying, "No, it's all right, mate. We don't need you here, right?
Mm,
We'll deal with our own things, and you can leave." They don't like it. Do you know what I mean? That's why there's coups every week in the country. People trying to take over in these
yeah,
countries. Do you know what I'm saying? So these guys have to be on their P's and Q's before they get wiped out. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
like there was another attempt on Ibrahim Traore as well.
that's what I'm
You
saying.
hear me? Again,
And
this is another
it won't be
person
the
trying
last.
to get away from the American dollar and do something good for Africa,
And he told
and they're trying to
France,
take him out.
get out.
Told France get out,
Get out.
and now he's a
You
target.
owe us, here's your bill. You owe us X amount.
You know that I think it's he's had a assassination attempt like 21 times or something.
Yeah, man.
21 times, bro. That's crazy.
Listen, the MO don't change. I was trying to say to someone the other day that nothing that is going on is new. If you go into history, this has been done time and time again, right? It's just there's new approaches, slightly changed. Like there's social media now, so we're watching. What is it? They said the revolution will happen in HD or 3D, or they said it will happen in real time. It will be televised. The revolution will be televised. I can't remember where that saying comes from, but we're watching it happen. We're watching it happen.
We are watching it happen, and there's a lot of people that think that World War III has begun already. But it's different. It's different to your traditional wars because a lot of it is an online war. Because if you look at where there was all this colonization going on in the past, and even more recently, it seems like there was a bit of downtime. And why was there downtime? Because they were placing their financial strongholds in different places, and they needed to have their financial strongholds in certain places. And they had a list, and of that list, I think there's only 3 countries left now. There was 4, Venezuela, but Venezuela now you can strike that off the list because I guarantee their financial stronghold will be there. Yeah. I think it's North Korea, North Korea, China, and I forget where else. There's 3 countries now that they don't have a stronghold. Oh no, sorry, it's North Korea, Iran, and oh gosh, I'm trying to think the third one now. I can't remember. Anyway, there's 3.
But you can
so once that's complete, then you're gonna see them move on to their next phase. I'm telling you now. I'm telling you, that's what they're doing.
I think we've been in World War III for a while. That's what I think for a little while now. I think pieces have been getting moved around, and you're absolutely right. There's a new frontier now, which is the cyberverse, right? Like they'll attack you differently. Like all these pipelines getting cut underwater. Like there's different types of cybersecurity or IT that goes on in the country. So you got like your data, like where your banks hold the financials, details, that kind of thing. And normally that's where you generally think about cyber attacks, where people take data or they steal money or they do things like that. But there's another side that people don't know about, right? And that's operational technology. That's critical national infrastructure. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about your energy, your power, your transportation systems, your big industry with big machinery. These are the things now that other nation states will attack, right? They'll attack that. So when you get these outages, or you get you look at Ukraine, their power plant gets attacked or their energy grid gets shut down, things like that. That's what the next level of warfare is. Like when they went into Venezuela the other day, I was reading a report. The first thing they did, they shut out all the electricity in that little area there, turn off all the lights.
That's the quickest extraction I've ever seen of that level. Flipping hell. They were in and out.
Yeah.
They were in and out. Like it was nobody's business.
It had to involve some people from inside Venezuela as well. You get me?
Oh, of course, there would be, because they've got people inside Venezuela.
Yeah.
They've already got people inside Venezuela.
I mean Venezuelans. I mean people close to President Maduro and stuff.
They will have. You got that Maria Corina Machado, that one who was opposed. She was the opposition for Chavez when he was in charge, and she didn't like this guy either. And she'll know people that are close to him. I guarantee it easily. She's a who supervisor. I've seen her out there, and I've heard what she's said, and
we've heard the nonsense
she's been spouting. And she is probably going to be the next puppet for them. I guarantee
that's what they'd like, but I don't think the Venezuelan people are ready to accept that.
Well, this is the thing. What did they say? The people are out in the street celebrating. Well, they weren't celebrating, because when you go in and you hit, majority that I heard speaking were not celebrating. They were condemning what Trump had done as illegal, and they were not going to stand for it.
But this is what the MO is in every country. Like if you go to Nigeria right now, there'll be people like, yes, Trump coming to save us from the terrorists, right? They give you a boogeyman, right? And they create a problem. I think, what's it called? Problem, solution, whatever theory, where it's like they create a problem to scare people, then they give you the solution, which is something that they preordained, what's what they wanted, and then they achieve what they want to achieve. It is what it is. Like, so now what you'll have, instead of having a strong united Nigeria saying it's cool, fight for your concern, but we're going to take care of our problems, you've got people in there that are like, yeah, the government's not doing enough, let's turn to Trump because he's going to come and save us. But what you need to look at, or the US, what you got to realize is, look at the history doesn't lie. Look at all the places where they've gone and liberated. Look at all the places where they've come and saved. Where is it stable right now? Where is it all working
literally
out?
nowhere.
Where is it all working
literally out? Everywhere they go, it's worse than when they found it. Nearly everywhere.
It's an asset strip. All the time. They're not going nowhere unless there's a benefit to them. They're not wasting American time, money, resources to
100%.
To go in somewhere just for the sake of it. There's got to be.
I'll give you an example. Let me give you an example on that exact point. There was America were never ever going to go to war with Russia over Ukraine. Ever.
Never.
I'll tell you, because Ukraine don't have anything. There's nothing worth them getting into such a big conflict over a nation, as far as they're concerned, that doesn't have anything to offer them.
Yeah,
it's not like it's an oil-rich nation or a mineral-rich nation or something like this. So they would never ever. That's why Putin was so confident what he was saying. He knows they're not going to do nothing because it's not worth their while going up against another powerhouse over Ukraine. All due respect, do you get me?
Yeah. I think that's why, if you look at the negotiations when Trump came into power, his first point of call is, what are we getting out of this? How much money are you going to pay us to basically protect? It's a shakedown. It was a shakedown.
I was going there and tapping pockets. You get me?
Listen, it's the oldest. It's like insurance. It's like insurance. It's like, you know what I mean? That's what the mafia used to do apparently back in the day. Like, they'll go to people, they'll go to a restaurant and they'll be like, I think I saw this in Goodfellas or Casino, one of them, they'll be like, okay, here, what are you going to do? You're going to pay us in case some shit happens.
Yeah.
Right? You're going to pay us so that shit doesn't happen. Right? You understand? And if you don't pay us, well, shit's going to happen. So just pay
pretty
us.
Much.
So just pay
pretty
us.
Much.
That's basically what it is. It's a mafia shakedown.
We need to bring the RICO law to them because, I mean, they're pretty much doing exactly the same thing.
They are.
Exactly. In fact, they're not. They're doing it to a much bigger scale and harming much more people in the process.
Legalized
it's nuts.
Yeah.
But I'm glad now that a lot of people that have got their eyes open now, more than I would say, if you go back 20 years, people wouldn't believe this shit. They just wouldn't believe it. Now, a lot of people are actually opening their eyes and seeing them for what they are, man. But you know, while someone like Trump's there, he's not going to care who knows what he's doing, because it's like you said, he says it himself. He don't care.
He tells you openly. I mean, the guy before he came into power said, I could walk down Main Street in New York and wherever, and I'll shoot people. I could shoot someone and nobody would care. That's his whole attitude.
Who said that? Trump?
Yeah, he said I could do that and nobody would care.
Bloody hell.
Like, flagrant. He was on the podium and he said, you are never gonna have to vote again. Like, what does that mean?
I think he's seen that what Putin's done and how long he's been in power, and he's thinking, well, I could do something like that.
I'm on it.
I can make sure. Yeah. I'll step down for 4 years.
I'm going to
but
undermine this constitution, and I could do whatever I want. Everything is, and the thing is, Trump may be the face of it, but he's got people around him that are very clever people. And this plan has been in place for a long, long time. From his first term, where they were like, we came close, but we didn't quite achieve what we wanted to achieve.
No, they did. They did achieve it. They did. You know what their goal? The goal. Hang on, hear me out. The goal in in his first tenure was to warm everything up and make it easier when he comes back. It's like you said earlier, when people are like, but it's Trump. You know what he's like. You know, I know he gets away with saying things. Why? Because what was he saying in his first term? Fake news. Everyone should be against reporters. Everyone should be against the media. He was warming everybody up for what he's going to be like when he comes back.
That's a fair argument, to be fair. That's a fair argument. And now they make you doubt everything because you can see things with your eyes, but they'll tell you, no, this is what actually happened. But you're like, fam, this is not Return of the Jedi. Yeah, you're not trying to Jedi mind trick me. I saw what happened, but then they'll question what you saw. Like you look at the woman getting shot in the face. The first latch immediately they came out with she attacked them. She attacked them. That's why they shot her. But you can clearly see she's turning away from the guy.
That woman was scared. She was scared
for her life.
Yeah,
she
man.
Was scared for her life. And they shot. He didn't shoot her once, multiple times.
And you know what's magic? I remember watching. You know when you watch like Narcos and that, yeah, and you see these people ballied up with these guns and that, and they're government workers, and it's like, right, these guys like. You'd never think that you're going to see that in, outside of South America or Africa or somewhere like that. But this is a way of life in America now.
Pointed at the general public. And the thing is, like, America doesn't realize how far it is slid away from norms. It's like it's happened overnight. It's gradual erosion of normality over there. Do you understand? It's gradual erosion and it's happening. And they're sleepwalking into disaster. And I feel like it's like all their norms are going out of the window. And the Democrats are there condemning it. Opposition party condemning it, but they're not actually doing anything.
Yeah, because you know why? Because, I mean, it's like, I like to use what Jesse Ventura said, who was a governor in America. I forget which state. It could have been, it was Arizona, I think. And what did he say? He said, politicians and wrestling are exactly the same. In front of the cameras, we'll argue, we'll fight in front of the public. But behind closed doors, we're all buddies. We all went to the same schools. We all hung around the same people. All our families know each other. We all go to birthdays together and this, that, and the other. So it don't matter who's in front. It's just same agenda, just a different journey to get to that agenda. That's it. Different
side of the same coin, basically.
100%.
Yeah, I can't argue 100%. With that. I can't argue with that because if we bring it to UK politics, right? Considering what the Conservatives have done to us for how many years, and people still kept voting for them, and then we thought we got liberation because we thought, oh, the Labour Party's coming and they're going to save us. And they've basically taken the space that the Conservatives had. They've done the same thing. I was saying to people about Keir Starmer from a long time ago, and I was trying to explain to people that, in my eyes, the Conservative Party have been infiltrated by Russians with Russian money, like people being compromised. And I'm saying the same thing's happening in the Labour Party. It's just a different group of people. It's the new you-know-who's that are taking over there. Do you know what I mean? And it's happening. We're seeing it openly. Like, how can we vote someone in who then doesn't represent what we, as the people that voted him in for? Completely going against.
I mean,
it's mad.
When I remember when what is it? When everyone was speaking out against what's his name? Flipping out, man. No, sorry, this is something different. Sorry, Maduro. When they were talking about Maduro, and everyone was condemning it. Every country was condemning it. Everyone had something to say, and it got to us, and it was like, well, we'll have to get all the details first. I'm going to speak with President Trump about. I'm thinking, wow, the information and the TV has caught everything. Yeah. The information is there. The news is there. We know what happened. Yeah. Speak on it. That's all we want. Everyone else is speaking on it.
And then they're hoping them board ships. They're hoping them board ships that come from there. So I'm like, so you're involved. Do you know what I'm saying? You're involved, mad, bro. Deeply involved. And it's mad because let's go back in time now to when Ukraine happened. I didn't hear this same energy. I didn't hear, well, we need to speak to President Putin to understand his rationale and his justification. There was none of that.
Well, they couldn't have said that because 8 years ago he told them. Yeah. He told them 8 years ago, do not get involved and warned NATO not to accept Ukraine as a member, because he knew as soon as that happened, military bases from opposition like America can be placed in Ukraine.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
he told them don't get involved, and this is 8 years ago. He told them don't get involved, and then they decided to get involved, and Putin did what he said he would do if they got involved. So they knew. It's not even like you could say, well, we need to speak to him first. Putin told you.
Yeah, but it's no different to what US is doing with Venezuela though, because the US is saying, "Rah, you're too tactical a place and all that oil for you to be moving with the ops, right? And for me to accept it."
So but what they did is worse. What they did is worse. They went into a sovereign nation and took the leader and his wife, and just took this worse.
Yeah,
as well as the military strikes and whatnot.
I'm not here trying to say one side's better than the other. I don't play that game, right? But let's call a spade a spade. Yeah, if they could have, they tried to do that with Zelensky. They did try to do that. Remember, they tried, but man got saved. Do you know what I'm saying?
But you know why though?
It's the same side of the same coin. Like we're saying, they're all doing the same thing, right? It's just that collectively.
Well, Zelensky's he's a you know who as well.
Of course. Yeah.
So he's got his backers.
He's got his backers. That's why he didn't get napped. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's why he didn't get
definitely.
Napped. This all could have been over a long time ago if it didn't have those backers. Do you know what I mean? Right.
Definitely.
So we know what it is, but the thing is, like I'm saying, the revolution is being televised. We're watching it in real time, and I've often wondered, like when I was studying history at school and that, and we were talking about the Holocaust and World War II and that, and I was just sat there and thinking, how did all of this happen, and nobody did? Like people just let it happen, and unfortunately, I'm sitting there thinking, this is how it happened.
I'm gonna talk on numbers, right? I'm gonna talk on numbers. Mm-hmm. I was chatting to JD about this, and it's something that he said. So I'm actually he would have probably said this if he was on today.
Yeah,
he's like, think about 6 million. Think about how many people that is. He said, think about how many people are in London. That's what, maybe 2/3 of the people in London. Mm-hmm. Yeah, right now, give or take. He said, you've been Carnival. I was like, yeah. He goes, Carnival's like 250,000 people. Mm-hmm. And look how packed that feels. Do you think it's actually possible that there was even that many in that area at that time? And they could do that many. The number, you don't think about the number and how actually big it actually is.
Mm.
And that number has changed. You know that, right? The number has changed down the years. Yeah. But that 6 million is a large number.
At the very
unrealistically large number. Sorry.
At the very, very core of everything is that you have to be open to ask questions. Right. So I'm not here. I'm not here to say 6 million didn't happen or not, but questions have to be asked about how this was measured, right? Who measured it? And one thing for certain that we know with history, because it is his story, right, is that the story is always written by the victor, innit? Like in Nigeria or Africa in general, there's a saying that says, tales of the hunt will always glorify the hunter. And until the lions have their own historian. Sorry, I forgot the first bit. Let me say it again. Until the lions have their own historians, tales of the hunt will always glorify the hunter. Deep that for a minute. Yeah. So whoever's telling the story can tell you whatever story they want to tell you. Right? Until the other side is able to tell you the story, you don't know. So you have to look at both sides of the coin. And I'm not saying one's right, one's wrong, but you have to look at the plausibility of saying certain things.
Why am I cutting in and out? What's going on? My audio is cutting in and out for some reason. You guys realize you're on YouTube. Be careful. Hey, listen. I don't think we said anything out of turn. We're here asking questions.
We're asking questions. We're throwing out theories that people have said. And it's there for people to consider and have a discussion. Like I said, I'm not there in it. I don't know. But I don't know. I've heard people say this. I've heard people say that. I've got a view on what I've seen, certain things, and that's all I'm sharing. But reality is, what influence do I have?
This is it.
What influence do I have? I just only have a voice that people can listen to, and maybe it triggers them to think. But other than that, what
people should be encouraged to think and ask
we
questions.
should always think. We should always think. You can't just accept what you're told, especially in modern day media. That's like, we all know it's controlled.
Yeah, exactly. Well, listen, accepting what you're controlled is the literal description of what it's like to be a piece of equipment or computer or something like that. You give it commands and it does what it's commanded.
It does what it's told.
We're not like that. We're human beings. We're here to think and ask critical questions about everything. You know,
and we all experience.
And I'll always be that way.
Differently, so I'm gonna think differently, and it's nice to just go back and forth and say, "This is how I'm seeing it. What do you think?" You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean I'm right. I've got no evidence. I've not done no research, other than what I've come across and what I've ingested, and I've applied my own grey matter to think about what I'm seeing and look at what doesn't smell right to me. You know what I mean? That's all it is.
Yeah,
it's all it is. Literally. And
there are lots of there are lots of people who are starting to open their eyes, and a lot of people who have had their eyes open. And I think it's always good to talk about these things, man. And at the end of the day, us sitting here talking about these things is causing a lot less harm than what these people are actually going out there and doing right now.
100%.
Okay. So that's where I'm gonna leave that.
And the reality is question everything, innit? You have to question everything. Like you have an inquisitive mind for a reason. Question everything. Like nothing is always what it seems. Do you know what I'm saying? The reality is that there's all these players in the world, and they're making moves and they're doing things, and it might not impact us directly today, but at some point in the future, it is going to impact us. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
You have to have your eyes open, innit? You have to have your eyes open. There's a reason why everything happens. It doesn't happen in.
Well, look, we can ask the people, man. Like, listen, you like what we're talking about? Let us know in the comments. You don't like what we're talking about? Equally, let us know in the comments, man. There's no such thing as a bad comment as far as I'm concerned. Positives, negatives, I'll read everything. You know what I mean? And I won't hold it against people. I'm not taking it personal. So leave us your comments, let us know, man, and maybe we'll be back with another similar pod in the very near future. I'm sure we will. Just before I finish up, by the way, 3-2 to Barca. So disappointed, man.
They're gonna hold on to it though.
Yeah. I think so. I think I'm a little bit behind.
To be fair though, man, watching that game, they've played the better football, man. Like
from what I've seen,
they've played a better football, and deservedly scored their goals. I'm not saying Real didn't. They did what they did and they got the goals. But if you're looking at performance and you're saying who through performance deserves to be winning, it's them at this moment in time. And I'm surprised by that, because even my son came in. We was watching it together, and he was going to me, but Real's got better players, and I'm like, better players don't make a better team, though, does it? Like it's about the team. You know what I mean? It's about
exactly. I'm not sure Alonso is the right personality for that team. I'm not sure he is. A great manager, and I think he'll do great things maybe in another club. Madrid, you need a certain type of manager in that club.
You need to do more as a manager before you go there, man. There's certain clubs, and I'm a Liverpool fan, innit? So I'm gonna put Liverpool in this bracket where you don't go there to cut your teeth. You go there when you've been there, done that. You've achieved certain things in your career. You've dealt with certain personalities. You've been there. You've been around the houses, and you've got the badge. You've got the T-shirt. Then you can come and take a job like that. I've always said, generally, when I see people taking that job, like I look at Brendan Rodgers, I just think, what was his qualification for being Liverpool manager when he was like, other than being a coach? What had he done for them to give him that job? And he did all right for a period of time, but that will always be the case. You know what I mean? Given resources and whatever, you'll do all right. But for longevity, you got to be someone like Klopp. You
You need certain clubs. You got your Milans, your Liverpools, your Barças, your Reals, your Bayern Munichs, like these big, huge clubs. You need they are institutions. You need a certain type of someone who's got something about them.
Yeah.
Who's got the experience, but also who has something about them, who knows how to deal with the personalities, who knows how to deal with the board, who knows how to deal with the fans. It's the whole package. You got to have everything. And you'll notice when there's something missing, they never last.
It doesn't last. That's the point. That's the point. Because people say to me, and I actually believe that Slot is a great tactician. Like, I mean, look at what he done with Final. Look at that's. I think tactically, even certain things he does in the Liverpool game, even though this year it doesn't make much sense, but I've seen him do things in the past and it's impacted the game. And I'm like, you know what? Tactically, you're on point. However, are you able to manage the personalities? Are you able to manage the expectation? Are you able to realize that you have to bring the fans along on this journey? You was given the best alley-oop you could ever receive if you use the basketball.
Definitely.
It was laid up for you, right? The man even sang your name before he left. Set it up nicely.
He had the best wingman, isn't it?
Best wing set you up perfectly. And obviously you scored the goal. Now you're expected to do it all yourself. The wingman's gone. And now we're starting to see red flags, which are asking questions. Can you manage this? So yeah, and you're right. I think Alonso may be in that same bracket. Like, he's still got to do more in his career before he's ready for a job like that. And I feel like it's a catch-22, because when that opportunity comes to you, can you really turn it down when you get that? So I don't blame them for taking it. I don't blame them for taking it. But the smart thing would have been to be like, you know what, I'm not quite ready for this. And yes, it's a gamble because the role might not come up again. But but do footballers think
it's true? Because what is that? Was it Madrid said Madrid only knock once or something like that? Something like that. Not once. Yeah. They're not coming back for you.
I think they knocked a few times for
Steve. If you're good enough, they will. Trust me. If you're good enough, they'll come back for you.
I believe so. And if they didn't, then it weren't meant to be, innit?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, man, this has been a great pod. I'll just remind you, please like, subscribe, comment, share. Support the Don't Gas movement, man. This is still a Don't Gas kind of like spin-off, if you like. So support Don't Gas, hit subscribe. It's free, it's easy, and it really does show your support. So do the easy thing. Anyway, Stitches, man, it's been great having you on again. We'll do this again for sure. Hopefully we'll get JD and Blunt and a couple of others on as well. But we'll definitely do this again for sure. It's been a great episode. I've been Buckstar. This has been I nearly said Don't Gas there. This has been the Buck Stops here, and we'll be back on Tuesday. Oh man, I'm seeing Barcelona celebrating, man. We'll be back on Tuesday with Don't Gas the Badge. Peace out.